with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death.
Now, please welcome the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Folks, how are you?
One eternity later.
And please welcome the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay.
What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency than they were under President Trump?
Take a look at what I was left when I became president, what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled, many people were and all he said was, it's not that serious, just a little bleach in your arm. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. It was terrible. So what we had to do was try to put things back together again. And that's exactly what we began to do.
Okay. Thank you, President Trump.
We had the greatest economy in the history of our country.
Oh, okay.
Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. By the time we finished, so we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and no wars, and so many other things. Everything was rocking good.
Oh, we forgot. He thought we forgot.
Countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others, in all fairness to China, it's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money and give us a lot of power for other things. We got hit with. We did a lot to fix it. I gave him an unbelievable situation with all of the things that we came up with.
This can't be serious.
More people died under his administration than our administration, and we were right in the middle of it. Something which a lot of people don't like to talk about.
They lie. They don't want to give me credit for anything.
And he did a very poor job, just a very poor job. All of the things he's done, we've become like a third world nation, and it's a shame.
And this is how I felt.
Really?
She's explaining it to you.
Yeah, I'm just saying, really.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system.
Why ain't you done it yet?
We have 1,000 trillionaires in America.
Huh?
I mean, billionaires in America.
Oh. Okay.
They, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 billion in a 10-year period.
Oh, really? That sucks.
Making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death. These millions and millions of people coming in, they're putting them on Medicare. They're trying to put them on Social Security. He will wipe out Social Security. He will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence, and it's a shame.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
I'm friends with a lot of people.
Okay.
Foreign countries cannot believe what happened to the United States of America. We're no longer respected. They don't like us. We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid people.
Yeah, it's true. Ask about it. Ask.
Former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states.
Correct.
However, the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have access. As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the and I agree with their decision, and I will not block it. Everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives. Everybody wanted it back. Religious leaders, 3 great Supreme Court justices. This is something that everybody wanted. It's been a great thing.
I'm being nailed to the cross like Jesus was, and he did nothing wrong. He's Jesus Christ, and he did nothing wrong. He was nailed to the cross. That's how I feel.
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done.
Oh, okay.
This is a little like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states, that each state have a different rule. The idea that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous.
Everything that guy just said is bull. Thank you.
He's willing to, as we say, the baby out of the womb in the 9th month. And baby.
That is simply not true. Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. He lies! Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going to. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late term. Period. Period. Period.
Okay. President Biden, a record number of migrants have illegally crossed the southern border on your watch. Why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
We made sure that you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now.
Okay.
We significantly increased the number of asylum officers. By the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position.
Right.
40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. It's better than when he left office.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean?
We had the safest border in the history of our country. All he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it. All over the world, they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open. And he didn't need legislation.
You did this for what?
Why not?
Why?
Why not?
Why?
Because I didn't have legislation. I said, close the border. We had the safest border in history, according to Border Patrol, who is great. And by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that.
Basically, people just do a lot of the same shit I do. And I'm just like, can you not?
The idea they're emptying their prisons, we're welcoming these people. That's simply not true. There's no data to support what he said. Once again, he's exaggerating. He's lying.
Lies, lies, and more lies, and lies on top of lies.
People are coming in and they're our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime.
Well, she really came that way? All right.
They're living in luxury hotels in New York City and other places. Our veterans are on the street. They're because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all.
Every single thing he said is a lie. Veterans are a hell of a lot better off since they passed the PACT Act. 1 million of them now have insurance, whether it was Agent Orange or burn pits. We have great respect for veterans. My son spent a year in Iraq, living next to one of those burn pits, came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there.
So what? Why?
Because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
You're trash, Brock.
To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
Just like Russia was made up. The 51 intelligence, the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing.
What the hell are you talking about?
51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son, Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
Fat chance.
4-star general standing to your side who was on your staff who said you said it. Period. The idea that I have to apologize to you for anything.
Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. The money that we're spending on this, it should have never happened. I will have that settled as president-elect before I take office on January 20th.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I've denied was 2,000 pounds. They don't work very well in populated areas. They kill a lot of innocent people.
He said the only one that wants to keep going is some. Actually, is the one. And you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a pal. But they don't like him because he's a very bad. He's a weak one.
Life could be worse.
No, not really. This is the worst.
This is the worst.
This is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it. And I said, they ought to have some National Guard or whatever. And I offered it to her. And she now admits that she turned it down. She said, I take full responsibility for January 6th.
He encouraged those folks to go up to the Capitol Hill. He sat there for 3 hours being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues and Republicans to do something, to end it. Instead, he talked about these people being patriots. They've been convicted. He says he wants to commute their sentences. This guy is responsible, and these people should be in jail, being held accountable.
Oh, okay.
He says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that there could be a bloodbath.
After a jury convicted you of 34 felonies last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents.
My retribution is going to be a success.
Oh, okay.
His son is a convicted felon at a very high level. His son is convicted. Going to be convicted probably numerous other times. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office.
Who's next? Who's next?
The idea that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous. It's simply a lie, number one.
Only thing that is artificial or fake about me. This. Oh my God.
Number two, the idea that you have a right to seek retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong. It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like that before. No president in our history has spoken like that before.
I'm petty. Yeah, I'm petty. P-E to the T-T-Y.
Number three, crimes that you are still charged with. And think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, or doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a car on the night while your wife was pregnant? I mean, what are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
Give your minute, sir.
I didn't have sex with a star. He caused the inflation, and it's black families and Hispanic families and just about everybody.
Everybody?
Everybody. I gave him a country with essentially no inflation. It was perfect. It was so good. All he had to do is leave it alone.
Okay.
The fact is that his big on the black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking black jobs now. These lights are so bright in my eyes that I can't see too many people out there. But I can only see the black ones. I can't see any white ones, you see?
There was no inflation when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on its back. He decimated the economy. 159 presidential scholars voted the worst president in the history of the United States of America.
President Biden, you would be 86 at the end of your second term. How do you address concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world?
It's enough. Retire. Why don't you retire?
I spent half my career being criticized being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate.
Yeah, so what's your point?
This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent.
So, there's that.
President Trump, you would be 82 at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them. Oh. The last questions are much more difficult, like a memory question, like you'll go person, woman, man, camera. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it.
Oh, okay.
I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. Somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match.
I got my handicap when I was vice president down to a 6. And by the way,
Bullshit? Bullshit. Bullshit.
I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap. 8. But I have, you know how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Okay, let's
not act like children.
President Trump, we're going to
21
turn.
Let's not act like children.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
Will you accept the results of the election, regardless of who wins, yes or no?
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country.
And that's just how it felt.
Really?
She's explaining it to you.
Yeah, I'm just saying really.
I doubt whether you'll accept it because you're such a whiner. The idea if you lose again, you accepting anything, you can't stand the loss. Something snapped in you when you lost the last time.
Oh my God! Even though they broke. Oh my God!
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. What did Trump do? Why?
I know how to tell the truth. I know how to get things done. When you get knocked down, you get back up.
Quack.